11 years, I have dreaded the reading and writing of this very speech. Actually, I even dreaded having to stand in line. Why did they make it so
You can do it.
Actually, I have even dreaded having to stand in line and wait to say my whole, I let my light shine in blank grade because blank. But now, after all this time, after each and every early June evening, when I stood in line waiting for my turn to speak, I have finally realized why I dreaded it so much. It was not, in fact, that I had to stand in front of every kid in the school, plus parents, grandparents, friends, siblings, and other extended family, and read a speech sharing my personal thoughts about my time here at Rainbow. It was not that I was afraid I was going to mess up. Well, maybe a little. It was not that I wouldn't know what to write my speech about. It was not that I would not be good enough. It was not what... It was not what other people would think about it. In these past few weeks, as I dawdled, procrastinated, and waited to deliver. In the past few weeks, as I dawdled, procrastinated, and waited for the very last moment to write my speech, I have finally realized the true reason why I so dreaded my speech. It wasn't the speech. It was what the speech meant. For 11 years, I have watched 8th grader after 8th. Okay. For 11 years, I have watched 8th grader after 8th grader read their speech, graduate, and move on. A speech is something to remember them by. A final statement. A final statement, a wave goodbye, a last farewell, which more than anything is something I cannot do. So, I sat there, staring at the blank paper, having no idea what to write. And I always know what to write. I will tell you now that not knowing what to write is by far the weirdest and most helpless feeling in the world, like drowning in a labyrinth crafted of darkness and not knowing which way to go, or what turns will take you home. And worst of all, you have forgotten how to imagine a pair of wings to help you escape by writing them into existence. So I sat there, my mind lost in the unsolvable labyrinth, until my friend showed me the way to go. She reminded me who I was and told me to stop trying to write a speech and write something I know how to write. So I decided not to write a speech to say goodbye. I, instead, will give you a story that will ensure I will never have to leave, at least in the minds of all of you. This is the story of my time here at Rainbow. Told the way I want. High above the clouds, where lay the minds of children, there is a city of stars. In the city of stars, you can dream while awake, and you never have to lock your doors because everyone trusts everyone. Anything is possible, and no idea is too big. The inhabitants of the city of stars are, of course, the stars. On clear nights, you can see their empire of light stretched across the sky. When you first come to the city of stars, your light is so dim that sometimes you get overlooked, forgotten, or drowned out by the light of other, brighter stars. The dim stars have so much burning potential waiting just below that dim surface, waiting to burst out and make that once dim star the brightest of them all. Slowly, As you spend more time in the city of stars, your light becomes brighter. And as you begin to shed little bits of your outer shell, letting more and more light out, you and you alone are the only one who is able to break your own shell. But in the city of stars, they try their best to teach you how. A star came to this place 11 years ago when she began learning how to break her shell. The star was, as all young stars are, shy and unsure what path to take. Though, as time passed, the star began to realize who she was. The star loved to create art. She loved being the illusionist. She would be able to make people see pictures from their wildest dreams. And really, the pictures were just lines scribbled on paper. She learned to brush strings against wires in just the right way to make them sing to the world. She learned how to question facts. She learned to love science, the answer to why, and history, the story of us. She learned how to string letters into words, words into sentences, and sentences into stories. And every time the star created an illusion, or made the strings sing, or asked a question, or discovered something new, or played with words, a piece of her shell would break away. And every piece that fell away let her light shine just a little bit brighter. In the city of stars, the star met other stars who soon became her friends, as they too shed their shell and grew to their light. By the star's 11th year in the city of stars, nearly all of her shell was gone. Her light was brighter than ever. She was no longer the star that was overlooked or dim. She had become everything that she wished to be, but now the time had come for her to leave. There was nothing more than that the city of stars could teach her. She and all of her friends had grown into their light, and it was time to let newer, dimmer stars take their place so that they too could grow to brightness. She saw the necessity in moving on, but the star, more than anything, did not ever want to leave the city of stars. The star dreaded the day when she would have to leave, because by this time the city of stars was more than just a city. It had become her home. A home is something you do not leave willingly. When the day came to leave her home, the city of stars, she left with her friends down to earth, their light streaking across the sky. As the star fell, she knew the city of stars was, to her, more than just a city, and she would always again and again return to her home. Someday you will stand here, where so many others have stood before you, looking out on the students, young and old, teachers wise and ninja. You will have broken your shell, and you will let your light shine on everyone. Make it blinding. And now, I have given you the best gift that I can give, the gift of a story. By doing so, I have put a part of me into you. So now, every time you walk in the door in the morning, every time you turn in your homework, every time you sit in circle, every time you go out to recess, every time you learn something new, every time you raise your hand, every time you ask a question, and every time you look at your teachers and your classmates, and you smile and relish in your own moment of contentment, that part of me that I have shared with you will be there. So that now I will never have to leave. My name is Zoe, and now I can spend eternity. My name is Zoe, and now I can spend eternity here in the fantastical, miraculous city of stars. My year is, and here we are in the middle, surrounded by a sea of stars, a million suns. Any of them could hold a planet, any of them could hold a home. Beth Rebus, A Million Suns. Now I would like to call up Susan, Jason, and Allie in the seventh grade Omegans.